Hi, this is Hans the Great recording a video for the course WR6 Max Winrate on bestpokercoaching.com. Um, I'm gonna record here a video about the lesson 6 continuation betting part 1, and the topic of the video is gonna be recording myself for about 20 minutes and identifying spots where to see bet and where not, where to check behind, and so on. So I'm mostly gonna focus on c betting. So let's get straight into the action. I think 4 tables should be quite enough for us to keep the action going. The video should be like um, 20 minutes long. Hopefully, such things as disconnecting is not gonna happen often. Here min raising should be fine against this player. I think both are folding enough to make it profitably. C betting on this board is quite fine. I mean, the guy folds a lot, but he as well doesn't bet like a ton in position, which quite most likely means that he's gonna check back a lot of 6-6 hands or any top pair that he has at any point there. Here we could argue for a call. I'm going here for a 3-bet, since the guy does fold a lot of 3-bets, and if I'm gonna 4-bet it, I'm just gonna fold the hand. Also, I'm not really super happy about uh, seeing here a multi-way pot. Once he 4-bets that small, I think I'm getting like 4-1 on a call, which is quite fine. And on this board, he's most likely gonna c-bet almost always. Well, he doesn't. Once he doesn't bet, we're gonna take a stab here. And if he jams, we're gonna fold. King Queen, standard open. Ace Jack. Of course, we're here against this player. He didn't auto rebuy. Well, that's why we're gonna put him pretty much all in. Hotaya 3-bets on the cutoff, and he has kind of a small range. I expect him quite often to have me crush there, so yeah. Fuller, the guy squeezes like 6%, most likely a bit wider on the button. So I think I can definitely here 4-bet fold, and I don't have, I think, to make it even that big. And as we see, we're gonna have been crushed by King Queen. When this guy dunks into us, I don't think he's dunk folding a decent amount of time, so we're gonna raise it up here, and as we can see, but we had a read dunk fold 100%, so yeah, once he jams over, it's an easy fold for us, I guess. On this board, once he calls, I'm not really thrilled about it, so I'm just gonna check back, and because here we can definitely not fold. Hopefully we bite. Yes, we did. So he checks back again. Well, I'm not really thrilled, and I do not think that we're ever ahead here. And he leads out here, and I guess it's quite easy fold. Against Hotaya, I'm gonna make it 1.5, so it's profitably more of the time. About that 4-bet pot, c betting. Well, I personally do not think that a lot of his range is gonna fold there. I'd call the 4 bet because most of them are gonna have as well a club, and some of them might even have a club in their range. So I personally just planned, unless I hit an ace, or maybe a jack, but it's not a club. I wouldn't only that most likely see that, and because in the 4-bet pot I don't expect him. His overall aggression factor is not like super high, which means that I don't expect him to bluff me off there way too often. And most likely the 10, the 9 there even improved his range. Well, we could argue about is my 4-bet okay or not. I mean, he's squeezing like 6%. I would even assume again in his position, um, maybe a bit wider since his button 3-betting is kind of wide, but maybe as well because button versus big blind. So yeah. Um, Here, I think I can still, but he's gonna fold most of it. He's gonna fold most of his pre-flop calling range, so if we get called, we're gonna most likely be crushed here. But I don't think he's gonna bet here almost always. So yeah, we don't have here against this guy. We don't have much. So yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna bet it and see what the guy does. I mean, this board, our hand is basically not worth it all. It's Well, yeah, looks like we have other problems. Our hand is not worth much. That's first. The opponent, well, the opponent is in the big blind, so I would say he's kind of having of a wider range. Once he flats there, I'm definitely here checking behind, and if he checks the river, I would consider betting if the draw is missed, but once he bets, I think we have quite easy fold. Um, I'm not sure about my c-bet on the flop. I mean, our hand is basically worth, it's just trash. I mean, we have just a couple of, I mean, weak backdoors. So I think checking out there and giving up is fine as well. But I think since I don't know anything about the player, I'm gonna try it out and see how he reacts. So I think we can now, I mean, I can now assume that such flops, we could most likely against him with such a hand definitely give up. Pocket trees, we're open. Against Plugo, which I would love that he calls. I think he's here. I think I'm gonna flat to keep as well Raikou, which seems to be like a huge fish in the hand. A squeeze I think is also an option since this guy folds a lot. I mean a lot. He folds a decent amount of time to see the 3-bets. Once everybody checks to me, I'm definitely gonna take a stab here, and I don't even have to make it that big. We don't have much, but also they do not as well for now. Everybody folds, we take it down. I guess this is the best scenario we could hope for. Here against Fuller, now after another limper, another caller, we have I think my hand is fairly playable out of position, so we might here go. Now the question is, what line should we take here? I mean, leading out is here an option to, and we are gonna make it big. So what's a check raise? I don't think is credible. I mean, I'm very often gonna represent a very narrow range here, mostly deuces, fours, fives. And once I get raised here, I think I'm pretty much behind, so I'm gonna call for now. I would say that his decent amount of time he's gonna have there an overpair, what raises like that, as well with sets if we do not. Once he checks behind, the guy has a huge win to show $1 in showdown, so I don't expect him to call us light. But now we're wrapping actually a pretty narrow range, and I hope that his $1 on showdown tells us a bit more. The problem is I think he might find a call even with something if he raises with jacks, queens, and check behind the turn. I still expect him to value bet his top pair on the turn if you raise like that. So yeah, we get called by the fish. I called against the fish, and the guy folds. Hopefully, as looks like the showdown was accurate. The question can now argue that I would most likely with my premium hands I would dunk there. I would dunk as well some percentage of the time, but the problem is I would most likely shove it. What I do think is, well, here I think once we get raised it's a pretty easy fold. I think his raising range there is gonna contain most likely some sort of some overcards, most likely something like that has an ace that has an additional gut shot, something like ace queen, king jack, ace jack, especially hands like that contain also flush draw that busted on the river. He might as well call me raise there with, of course, all pocket pairs, which are most likely a no-brainer to raise there. But what I certainly think we could argue about is whether my donking was correct. Ultra fish, I'm gonna give 3-bet my ace 10. I fairly think I did expect to get called, but I think my image is not that great in case I get 3. In case I would check raise, people I think wouldn't give me that much of a credit. Button, I think since it barrels a lot, I think I'm gonna make him give him also as well pretty decent odds, so he might flat with his 3-betting range, which should be a bit against which my ace queen suited would definitely be fair enough good. If it jams, I don't expect him to jam super light against the UDG open raising range. I think I made it a bit cheaper for him to call, to give him good odds to flat, most likely if it has something like king queen, queen jack, ace jack, or something that he 3-betted, something like it, that we have most of the time crushed. So yeah, here against Piedmont, fold 3-bet and the small blind is like 72, so we're gonna 3-bet, defend it. When blue gold bets like that big, we're gonna flat definitely once. The turn. We have a top second pair, open ender and flush draw. Let's see the turn. Fold. Was a raised C bet. He's gonna most likely call, so I think also he represents a decent amount of strength here. Um, the question is how much to bet if it checks. I'm definitely gonna bet it big. I'm bet it big. Most likely he's gonna. Oops, that's a bit shitty, I guess. Come on, not now. And here, I guess we can jam. I think. Um, well, yeah. Oh, looks like we do have a bit of. No, it works fairly fine. Okay, for now, looks like we do. Let's see the hand history. What the guy had. From his perspective, I think a decent amount of time it's gonna be some sort of king jack. Maybe some. I don't know. Maybe some ace jack with a flush draw. King. I don't know. Like a king queen maybe. Well, this might be a bit loose to open, so we're not. I'm gonna open pocket deuces here, fairly standard. So let's see what the guy did had. The guy had like jacks, exactly jacks, which is why he also had a hard time to fold. Against this player, we are not that deep. He's deep. I'm not. He's the small blind is just 6%, so one think of flatting here, and I'm set mining, or at least looking for a flop where I could take a stab. I mean, once he bets big here, mm, I'm just gonna fold. Here with the ace king, we could maybe made it a little bit bigger. On this board, the guy is basically never ever gonna fold most of his stuff, but I think we can definitely c-bet with our gut shot and hopefully make fold some nines, eights, small pocket pairs that might even take a stab. If we check to him, he's gonna bet like 50% of the time, so we are never know where we stand. I think trying to steal here the pot is fine, especially since the fish here folds like 69% to c-bets, which is a decent amount, so we can basically c-bet every board that comes down. Because we still have the problems with the connectivity. Once this board, I guess I'm gonna bet it big. It's a fish, he can call, but even he's kind of folding a lot, so we have to be aware that if he calls, he's gonna have something. It's not like a weaker sort of opponent that's gonna have pure air. They're calling with ace high, so I expect him actually, if he calls, to have some sort of at least mediocre hand. I think I'm gonna flat here with my fours, also giving the odds to one of the blinds to call as well, so we kinda hope the scenario when we have a pocket pair to get into a multi-way pot, but we got squeezed and we're gonna fold against the squeeze. Well, looks like I still have problems. I changed my sizing based on the strength of my hand, uh, which might be kind of faced up, but I don't care really much about it. Uh, uh, the guy has like a huge fold to raise c-bet percentage, so we might call here and try to check raise some boards here, since I expect him to fold like he's gonna c-bet this board basically all. C-bet in position 7-3. What's his check back range? I fairly assume a lot of ace signs. So I think we can definitely bet big here. I'm over potting here. And let's see if the guy finds a call. Yes, he does with third pair. Fine, I guess. Here, against this player, fold to c-bet 65. Well, yeah, it's not like gonna be a super profitable spot there, but he folds to c-bets in position, so I think we could try here to play this hand. 4-5, it's like the button that I would go, and simply try to take it on the flop. But he calls and made an instant call. Once the 4 comes down, it doesn't change much. I'm still gonna betting big, and he does fold now. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.